Welcome to Entertainment with Les. Today I'll share with you top 10 celebrities who tried to warn us about Tom Cruise. Number 10. According to Mark Wahlberg in 2013, a series of stolen documents from Cork revealed that Tom Cruise had said that making a movie was just as difficult as fighting in Afghanistan. It is safe to conclude that Mark Wahlberg did not take this remark well in the long run. He was promoting his movie Lone Survivor, in which Mark played a Navy SEAL and was based on the real-life events of the aborted 2005 mission operation. Being questioned about how difficult it was to make the movie, he launched into a scathing tirade saying that the onlookers could discuss. "So, I attended SEAL training and spent the night on the ground. If you don't do what these people did for someone to sit, I couldn't care less what you did. How effing dare you while there and claim that my job was just as challenging as someone in the military? You spend 2 hours in a makeup chair." At the end of the day, he added that actors are allowed to check into their hotel rooms and order chicken. Then, very shortly, Tom's attorneys intervened and asserted that the tension was very obviously palpable, even though the actor was merely acting and in reality is a fervent supporter of the troops. Number 9. When chatting with The Vulture, Sandy Newton. Newton explained why he chose to collaborate with Tom Cruise on the 2000 movie Mission. When questioned about why she never produced another picture in the series, Impossible said it was a complete nightmare. "No, I was never asked," the actress replied. "I was so afraid of Tom. He was a very domineering person. He makes a lot of effort to be a kind person." She recalled an event on set in which he was very stressed out and dominating. She tried to finish a night scene on the balcony with Cruise. "It wasn't a really well-written sequence, in my opinion. I am enraged with him since we are both getting on our nerves, and Tom made a choice right at the start of the movie. He didn't speak English, which I didn't know, but I believe it was really good for him. Yet, the rest of us found it to be incredibly useless." Dandy continued by saying that Tom had. She was so upset with her performance that it only made her feel more insecure and terrified. Yet, Dandy claimed that she doesn't have a negative opinion of Tom as a person. He wasn't that bad. He was just extremely stressed out due to the strain. "I believe he has this idea that he can only take on so much. He can perform each task as effectively as possible." Number 8. One way to become really unpopular with women is to behave like Brooke Shields and tell them what they can and cannot wear. But, instructing them on how to give birth is an insult all its own. Ask Brooke Shields, who endured public humiliation from Tom Cruise for using medications to treat her postpartum depression. It had no therapeutic effect. Science is non-existent. If it wasn't arrogant enough, there is nothing that can even remotely treat them. "I also care for Brooke Shields," he added, "because I believe she is a very talented woman. However, take a look at where her career has gone." But Brooke would have none of it and seized the chance to speak out on behalf of all new mothers. "Tom should stick to defending the planet from aliens," she advised, "and let postpartum depressed ladies choose the best course of action. I should also mention that I'm going to hazard a bet and say Mr. Cruise has never experienced postpartum depression." She stated that his remarks were a disservice to all mothers. If anything positive can be said about Mr. Cruise's ludicrous tirades, let's hope that it brings much-needed attention to a serious illness. Number 7. Brad Pitt. Despite having a lot in common, particularly in terms of their professions, the two A-list performers, they are said to be completely at odds with one another. In fact, there are allegations that the two had been at odds for 25 years. All began with a single film interview with a vampire, a 1994 film. Both performers played leading parts in the smash horror movie, which truly sparked. Despite the fact that the movie was subsequently nominated for an Oscar and a Golden Globe, it also highlights their animosity for one another. Brad claimed that Tom and he were both miserable while filming. When asked about his co-star in an interview, there undoubtedly wasn't any assistance. Brad didn't even try to hide his emotions, which irritated me. During the filming, there was a point when I really started to hate him since he was the North Pole. I'm from the South, and he always approaches you with a handshake. There was this underlying competitiveness that prevented any serious from happening, so I might run into you. Fast forward the conversation to 2009, when both actors were appearing in World War. Tom and Valkyrie and Brad in Inglourious Bastards are my two dramas. Additionally, Brad's movie earned far better reviews. But to make matters worse, he reportedly described Tom's movie as absurd. Number 6, Nicole Kidman. Despite the fact that Nicole Kidman and Tom's marriage has been ended for years, one of Hollywood's most talked about pairings is still Cruise. He was still married to Mimi Rogers at the time of their encounter, though. Less than a year later, in February 1990, Tom finally divorced his first wife. He and Nicole traded vows. In Isabella, they even adopted 2 kids. Afterwards, Jane and Connor Anthony went on to produce 2 further films as a couple. But as we all know, their union was far from perfect, and a decade later, in 2001, they decided to call it quits. Reviewing the divorce, Nicole commented, quote, "I got married while I was very young. Looking back, I agree with her statement to Red Magazine that she felt lonely during her marriage and even after winning an Oscar. I was clutching a gold statue, and I was the loneliest, according to her description. I had previously undergone a divorce." Nicole off guard, and things quickly became very nasty, culminating in a custody dispute. Tom allegedly incited her children's opposition to her. He was given complete custody of their children and brought up both of them as Scientologists. Yet, despite all the sadness, nothing compares to the classic picture of Nicole exiting the office of her lawyer. As soon as their divorce was official, they were jubilant. Number 5, Alec Baldwin. Another famous person who hasn't shied away from criticism. In 2009, Tom Cruise co-starred with Alec Baldwin. The Women in Hollywood dinner and awards presentation was hosted by the raunchy rock singer, and what he said had everyone smiling, including Thomas Holmes' wife at the time, Katie. The actor made light of the problem of the disparity in pay between men and women in Hollywood. He then allegedly had an idea to address the pay gap, quote, "If Tom Cruise will decrease his quote by just $29 million, I think we could reach a compromise. I acknowledge that this could be a little unfair. Since he isn't present to defend himself, and I don't want to blame one man for everything. Yet, if I had to choose, Tom Cruise would be that person," he continued, telling the audience that his own pay was insignificant in comparison to Tom's. In fact, as he claimed, the money for his yearly income comes from the mints that were a part of one of his films. But according to the proverbial phrase, there is a grain of truth in every joke. The actor's next film is predicted to bring in at least $100 million. Top Gun: Maverick, which would represent one of the greatest actor paychecks for a single film ever. Number 4. Former longtime Scientologist and Queen Stalia, Leah Remini. In her 2015 memoir Troublemaker, Remini discussed her experiences in the religion, much to Tom Cruise's disgust. Leah also made some surprising claims concerning a number of well-known Hollywood stars. She described a period when Tom Cruise invited a number of well-known Scientologists and other celebrities, including Will and Jada Pinkett Smith, to spend time at his Beverly Hills estate, where she and her husband Angelo spent time. He pressured and declared to all of the guests that he wanted to play hide and seek. Everyone to participate. Remini also provided an explanation for another unusual episode in which Tom reportedly lost it over cookies. There was pre-packaged cookie dough on the counter, and he wanted to make cookies. He questioned the men, "Where's the cookie stuff?" Tom had a kid-like appearance, who had never heard the word no, screaming at both his assistant and Top Gun. "Don't let the movie star charm fool you," Maverick said in an interview with his supporters. "I won't see the movie, and I won't ever stand behind or endorse this con artist. She is obviously not the type to forget or forgive." Number 3, Katie Holmes. Back in 2012. After 6 years of marriage, the former Hollywood power couple Tom Cruise and Katie Holmes revealed to the world that they were divorcing. The A-list splits announcement shocked everybody. It sent shockwaves of speculations and conjecture through the entertainment industry about why the couple called. After a brief romance, it ends. The couple welcomed Siri Cruise, their first child, together, after getting married in a lavish Italian ceremony. As a result, everyone was shocked when they announced their divorce. Katie's opposition to bringing up their child as a Scientologist. In a 2013 deposition, Tom essentially corroborated this by acknowledging that this was one of the grounds on which his ex-wife filed for divorce. He also disclosed that his daughter Suri, who had just turned 7 at the time, was no longer a practicing Scientologist. Given that those who abandon the church are frequently cut off from other active members, which is certainly, this revelation was a bit shocking. Due to Katie's winning sole custody of Suri, there were supposedly ironclad decrees that she would not be exposed to any Scientology-related material in the future. Tom gives the impression that the former couple aren't exactly friendly. Has apparently not even seen his daughter in a long time. Number 2. In a recent, uncut interview with Piers Morgan, Nicky Rock. When asked about Tom Cruise, the former boxer who is now an actor made a statement. It was abundantly evident that he was not a fan. His brand new film was mentioned. Almost $1 billion was produced by Top Gun Maverick at the box office. And Rock said that to me, what this person has been doing doesn't mean jack. The exact same component for 35 years. I had no respect for that Rock, as he continued by listing some of the careers of actors. Unlike Tom's, he does enjoy and admire Cruise, and when Morgan questioned if he thought Cruise was a good actor or not, Rock replied. In 2005, when Tom criticized Brooke Shields for taking antidepressants, Nicky went out against him because she believed he was irrelevant in her world. Then quote, "My therapist saved my career and my effing life. Whatever Tom Cruise says about treatment, I don't care. F him for picking on Brooke. Shields people require both medical care and therapy. Go forth and live on your own planet, Scientologists." He made it quite plain that he doesn't think very highly of the Hollywood star by referencing the fact that Scientologists firmly oppose psychiatry and treatment as it goes against their core principles. Number 1. Both John Travolta and John Travolta are prominent, active members of the Church of Scientology. However, it has subsequently come to light that the two are not exactly close friends. When a former church bodyguard, the truth was revealed. When Tom won the organization's top accolade in 2008, John Travolta was enraged, according to Brendan Teague, who made this revelation in 2018. He received the Freedom Medal of Valor from the organization's boss. This honor is only granted to the team's most devoted member, says David Miskovich. John was reportedly frustrated as well over the fact that Tom has grown to be a significant figure in the church and is currently one of its most well-known members worldwide. Brendan T. said that Travolta initially felt tremendously envious after this incident but gradually grew out of it. He was so furious that he decided to vent by writing Ms. Carvage a caustic letter, which, according to reports, asked what the hell the medal was for. The actor thought of himself as the most devoted churchgoer, which was the reason. More members than any other celebrity, it was claimed. Hence, when he was denied the prize. Being only 2 years older didn't help John's growing dislike of Tom. John was not invited to Tom and Katie Holmes' wedding. Thus from the start, their relationship was already rocky. If you like this video, please subscribe to our channel and thanks for watching.